Most people think they need a 30-day challenge to reset their life. But the truth is, you can change everything within like 24 hours. One day, one decision, one shift in identity. And if you're watching this, it probably means you felt this too. That moment where your mind starts drifting just enough, and you know it's time to realign. A couple weeks ago, I filmed a version of this video, a long form breakdown of my 24-hour mental reset, but I didn't post it because the version of me recording this today is operating at a completely different frequency. More grounded, more present, grateful, more aware, just more me. This is the version that needed to speak the whole time. Here's how this reset really started. And it wasn't from waking up off. It was the opposite. I've been nose to nose with the grindstone, working harder than ever. Filming, training, writing, editing, fathering, pushing myself mentally, spiritually, physically. And in the middle of all that momentum, I let myself have some whiskey. Not to escape, not to numb, not to avoid anything, but to sit in the dark and quiet and actually soak in everything I've accomplished. Because when whiskey first hits, it slows things down for me. It opens up that reflective space where you can think, or I can think, man, look at everything I've built, how far I've come. And honestly, it felt good to sit in that gratitude, to let that reality of my growth land even deeper. But whiskey is a double-edged sword because the next day, those same thoughts can flip. And instead of, wow, I can't believe I did all that, it turns into, are these videos even going to be any good? Is my life exciting enough for people to want to watch? Who am I doing this all for anyway? And why am I doing it? This happened to me within the last 5 days, not weeks ago. And I want to be real about it because it wasn't a meltdown. It was a downward spiral. It was simply the frequency swing that comes after using something external to amplify internal feelings. And because I'm more aware than I've ever been, I caught it immediately. That's what led me into this reset. The old version of me would have judged myself, would have felt guilty, would have made it a whole story. But the man I am today, the father, the creator, the coach I'm becoming, I understand what's happening. This isn't weakness. It isn't backsliding. It's just a reward system inherited. I know I got it from my parents. One that used to soothe me, but now doesn't really match the identity I'm stepping into fully. And in a Joe Dispenza meditation, when he guided me to release the thoughts and feelings I don't want anymore, I asked, help me let go of my love for whiskey. Not because I'm broken, but because my life is growing too fast for old tools. That's awareness. That's growth. It's even evolution. And that's when I initiated the reset, the exact 24-hour process that brings me back into clarity, presence, vision, and purpose. Let me walk you through it. The reset begins with silence. No supplements, not journaling, not distractions. Silence. Cold air, fresh snow, a long walk with no headphones, just me and my breath and my awareness catching up to itself. When I walk in silence, my nervous system resets. My thoughts stop spiraling. My body drops out of overthinking, and my intuition comes back online. Clarity starts here, inside. Then I stop, close my eyes, and breathe deeply. Breathing like a father who wants to show up fully. Breathing like a creator stepping into a bigger identity. Breathing like a man who refuses to let old habits dictate his future. This isn't woo-woo. This is nervous system mastery. Next, I ask myself, what thoughts and feelings do I no longer want to carry into my future? Every time I ask this, something shifts. My internal frequency recalibrates. Transformation isn't about adding more. It's about letting go of the version of you that can't come with you into the next chapter. It's got to stay behind. We're moving on. Then I do something physical and difficult. I'll go to boxing class. I'll do some push-ups. I'll walk through a snowstorm. Something that proves I am not a man who folds under pressure. One hard rep can realign your entire identity. Then I come home and reconnect with gratitude. My boys, my journey, my discipline, my transformation, my content, my purpose. And I recommit to the vision that's pulling me forward. That alone is a frequency shift. Recently, I learned something that changed me deeply. It's about resentment. I used to look at people who had more than me. Bigger homes, nicer trucks, more success, and feel that tiny inner pinch. A subtle, must be nice. But resentment is a trap. It keeps you vibrating at the frequency of lack. And lack is just fear. Fear of poverty, fear of inadequacy, fear of stepping into the version of you who can have those things. My growth just didn't come from what I added to my life. It came from what I removed. I cut out negative people, negative conversations, even negative conversations I make up in my head, negative content, and the noise of the world. I don't have cable TV anymore. Haven't for years. Why let someone else's fear hijack my mind? I've curated my environment with intention. The voices I listen to the content I consume, the books I read, the mindset I feed myself. Without this solitude, without this intentional curation, I'd probably still be chasing money across the country, sitting in a big metal box, controlling joysticks, thinking a bigger paycheck would fix everything. Peace didn't come from earning more. Peace came from removing what was lowering my frequency. When you eliminate resentment, you unlock abundance. I'm also grateful for every fear I've faced. The small ones, posting videos, being vulnerable. The bigger ones, sharing my truth publicly. And the massive one, hiring a videographer for 2 days, letting him follow me, letting him film me and my family, everything. My workouts, my fatherhood, my vulnerability. And then releasing that content to the world. Most people never give themselves permission to be seen. But I've freed myself from the fear of judgment. And now, the next year rising, the fear of success. I didn't even know this was a thing. But I'm ready for it. Because success isn't scary when you've built the identity to hold it. This past year has transformed me. I am more present with my sons, more disciplined, more grounded, more aligned with my purpose, more connected to spirit, more certain of who I'm becoming. My ideas flow faster, my edits smoother, my energy is way stronger, and my vision far more clear. I'm no longer just a guy making videos. I am stepping fully into the identity of a transformation coach. And this reset is how I stay aligned with that path. You don't need a retreat. You don't need a week away. You don't need to escape your life. You need one conscious day. One day of silence. Breath, gratitude, truth, and intention. One day where you release resentment, fear, comparison, and old identity. One day where you return to the person you were always meant to be. And if you're still here, if you've made it to this point, I know you're serious. Not too many people make it this far. Personal growth isn't easy. It's a tough battle. If you want to build presence, mental strength, and emotional control from the ground up, check out the 7-day presence protocol I designed. My signature reset for anyone ready to take back their own lives. And if you want to support the channel, you can always buy me a coffee. Link is below. Your quantum leap begins the moment you choose it. Today might be your day. No time like the presence.